with a bang.
Right?
Goodness gracious alive, Jill. What you got going there?
I just got blew out my
Oh, we
eardrums.
were making a Motorhead video for a
Welcome
minute.
back to
Damn.
Grouch and the Brainstorm episode 125. I am Mike, and I'm joined today with Jill
Hey, guys.
and Matt
Hey,
and our friend Haden.
What's up, guys?
the man, the myth, the legend.
And Matt, you might want to just clean off the little bit of your lens there. It looks like I got a little sweat on it.
On this?
Use your underwear you have laying on the table. Yeah, look at
G-string.
that. Look at that.
Is that better?
Yeah, you might want to back it up a little bit. It may just be your face.
I have that. Don't
Just
be-
have a blurry face.
So, oh man,
Looks
yeah,
the same to me.
this is a loud start to this episode.
It really was.
man.
I mean, like, I jumped.
Yeah, man, this is 1.25, man. We've done 1.25 of 1,000. It's pretty good.
Okay.
So look, Hayden, how you been, man? We have not seen you since probably the first 4 or 5 episodes of this
Yeah.
show. We were
Yeah.
doing them
Yeah.
in my place back in over on the other side of town years ago. So just tell us how you been for a minute.
You're right, man. Life's going really well. It honestly took me by surprise whenever you said episode. What did you say? 125.
125.
Yeah.
125. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But man, I've been doing great. Still, working along in the program and living life, building a family. We're expecting to have another baby come Halloween or close to Halloween. We'll kind of see how that goes. And then career change a little bit. My previous job is no longer in existence. It's gone now, but we've had some changes in that location, and we're doing something else. I'm working for the same people, but we're going to be doing a different type of restaurant in that area. And so I mean, we're just moving on along with that. That's pretty much all that's new with me, honestly.
I think the last time we saw you, now the child you currently have wasn't even born.
No, he was very young though. I would say he was probably just a couple months old, and maybe 6 months old. But he's about 2 years old now, so he'll be 2 next.
He's a little
month.
gangster, too. I've seen him one
actually,
time at the
hey,
restaurant.
we've
He's
been
buck
doing the
wild.
show now for 2 years and 4 months.
Seriously, yeah. So maybe he wasn't around.
Yeah,
You don't
I think he was right there fixing to be born.
Remember we were doing the Friday night thing, and it was Jill, Hayden, Ben S., Jennifer J. did some, and we would do 2 or 3 in a row. And that's when you were doing them with us. We would knock out several of them. Yeah, that's been way back.
Man.
So
Wow.
Yeah, it just didn't seem
Time
like it's been that
flies.
long.
No,
Yeah.
it really doesn't.
Mike used to have the nunchucks on the wall in the apartment.
Yeah, I still
I
got him
know.
hanging in my garage somewhere.
I know. And
He's lying. He's got them on in his belt right now, ready to nunchuck somebody if need be. He acts like he doesn't use them.
No, they're not real nunchucks. And they're not like Joey Bro nunchucks or anything.
is that the dude?
Yeah, lost the guy on. He's a TikToker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like the Matt. Someday somebody's gonna like, not like the Matt Child. Matt Childs. That's a friend of mine from the old days. No, not like the Matt L's out there who use the. What are the ones with the studs on them? You have nunchucks that have studs on the bottom.
Oh, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I'm not real sure what you do with those, but I could be a nunchuck. I might be thinking of something totally different. Just looks
Why
like
do
a
I
nunchuck handle.
Are you talking about a sex toy? What's going on?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
where my mind went.
Jill, what you been up to, bud?
I have been up to working and, just taking care of my property. I have some pretty cool things that could be happening in the future with my job and, just kind of taking it easy, letting everything fall exactly where it's supposed to. I think that I have a tendency to get ahead of myself and get expectations and always get let down by those. And I don't want frustration. I don't want any negative feelings. So it's just literally just trusting God and knowing that everything will happen in time. Maybe not my time, but in God's time. So that's really cool. I mean, things are going really well for me now. I've got my hormones straightened out and I feel good. I just got back on the tennis court last week and it was amazing. I get frustrated on the tennis court because I don't play like I used to play, and I used to play competitively. Played a little bit of college and played high school and been playing since I was a kid. But I was able to go out there and everything came back really quickly. And I was like, okay. And so I'm excited because for a while there, I wasn't doing, I just had some things going on physically, like all my joints were aching all the time and having some lower back pain. But that's all gone.
I was a good beer pong, college level beer pong player.
No.
Is that
no?
That's not a sport.
No,
Okay.
but
Well, the scouts are heavy for that sport right now.
The scouts.
the Boy
Yeah.
Scouts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it, but no, I mean, like, and I'm doing Pilates, so
Cub
I think
Scouts.
I think I've realized I'm at an age where, like, if I don't take care of myself, I'm just going to end up, turning into some like arthritis-bound, bedridden. I'm
No.
sorry, I'm making all these.
Tales from the crypt.
Now, I don't know about all that, Jill. I might be taking some stuff just a bit to the extremes there.
Well, seriously, but I mean, like, if I don't move,
Hey, you talking about expectations?
a body in
You're
motion.
not even
Wait,
50.
that's not how it says.
Yeah, body in motion tends
I'll
to
be
stay
50
in motion.
in like a month.
Well, you're getting there then.
Yeah, I am getting there. It's just crazy.
The old osteoporosis or
Osteoporosis.
that too.
Which
yeah.
does run in my family, but I don't. I'm more like my dad's side of the family. That's more
Start getting them various veins in your legs.
beefy.
Yeah.
We're more beefy
Yeah.
and muscular on
Yeah.
that side.
Suffer from ED.
Ed.
God.
Luckily now you got
can't
gas
deal with
station
y'all.
boner pills. You can just pick them up anywhere.
Hey, mini thins have been around for a long time.
Those aren't boner pills.
Yeah. Those make you want to pull your hair out.
I know. I've taken quite a few of those.
Yeah, those are Matt, what you been up to?
Man, not taking many things is what I've been up to.
That was
No.
just gas station level speed, man.
Yeah, it's just that's all it is. But yeah, man, no, just trying to behave, man. Just enjoying life. We were just talking about expectations, Lacey and I last night, and she was saying, "Well, I should be doing this," and I just heard it, and I was just like, "Why are you saying you should be? Like, who says that? Like, you think that?" But so we just had this conversation last night, and
I had it yesterday with an inmate because everything should be this and should be that, and this is the way it's supposed to. And I said,
should
"Why are
be
you
this
sure
far
about
along."
that, bud?"
Yeah, and it's I instead of God is
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that on Lacey. I'm just saying she's so hard on herself, and I'm like, you're putting stuff on yourself unnecessarily. Like that's what you're doing. You're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Well,
But,
yeah, there's
you know,
a lot of expectations behind supposed to and should and must and all of that, or never. The other polar end of it.
Yeah,
A lot of them.
yeah, and it just I think we all catch ourselves with that and have to back up and go. I should be dead. That's what I should be, or in jail.
Best
One of the
I
two.
deserve.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
I deserve to be
Yeah.
dead.
So
Yeah, how many don't play that?
anything from here on out is gravy. So
Well, I have met people over the past 20 years, and some have no expectations at all, right? And I don't mean relationship people. I just mean people, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
met people, and some have no expectations. They kind of creep me out, to be
Really?
quite honest. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
kind of they go with the flow to the point of, do you have a pulse?
like the
You
Big
know.
Lebowski dude.
And then I've been around people who have such high expectations that they never are in a good mood.
Yeah,
Like they are always down. Like you can't have a conversation with somebody. I can't have a conversation with somebody without, like, I can go in high energy, man, and then they're just womp womp womp. I think I got a thing over here for that, but
Just hit one and see what happens.
all right. How about that, Jim? So you had expectations I was going to hit that button, but didn't. But
Actually, I didn't. Actually, I think that's one of those people that doesn't have a pulse.
but have you ever been around that person that their
Oh, yeah.
expectations are so high, life just sucks for them?
I used to be that person.
They literally, you cannot pick up a phone and call them and have a conversation, which y'all know I don't like doing anyway. But you can't have a conversation with them because it's just everything is always wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason it's wrong is because it ain't how they want it.
Yeah. And I could probably say that's every alcoholic out there.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, whenever I think back to really, I'm still that way a lot of the time now. You know, if things don't really go my way, then it doesn't seem like it's done right. You know, but one of my friends, he says this all the time, and it's actually in business. So if somebody does 85% of what you believe is right, and then they have that other 15% that they do it their way, it's like, you know, possibly it could be better their way. But if you have somebody that's in line with you 85% of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're probably doing the right thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, having that expectation that people are going to do exactly what you need them to do all the time, every time, it just never really works out.
Yeah. But then they take it into their own hands, become perfectionists, and it drives them crazy either way.
Right.
Oh.
And I was always
Anyway.
one of them. I didn't expect other people to do it. It was just always on me. I would put that crap in my head, like, man, you shouldn't have screwed this up. You know, and like that was always on. I never did it with other people. I didn't expect. You know, I just like, oh, it's no big deal, man. You know, don't worry about it. But then me, and man, that's just a weight. You know, that's just a bunch of junk that you put on yourself. My sponsor asked me one time, he said, you do that with everybody else, why don't you do it with you? And I'm like, I don't know why. You know.
Well, I
That's
tell
a
you
good
what.
question.
You know, now that I don't have expectations, I mean, occasionally they happen, but I try to stay away from them because it brings pain and negative emotions I just don't like anymore. It's such an easier way of living.
Sure.
Because things just go the way they're supposed to, and it brings me a lot of peace. It's nice, you know, like we were talking about earlier. You know, what happens is I can just roll with the changes.
Yeah.
Even though I do need some front loading, because too much change, I get weird.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
a little front loading is all I'm asking.
Front load mean.
Y'all know I'm a very highly sensitive young woman, and
Are you a young woman, or are you worried about this bone thing
You
going
said
on?
something about AARP earlier. I don't know.
dude, y'all shut the hell up.
Okay, we'll lay off right now. For right now.
Okay, just right now. What?
Front loading.
Front loading.
Oh yeah,
What does front loading mean?
So it means you're
Too
before a
much.
big change, kind of letting them know, like, hey, this is what's going to happen, and we're going to start this probably in about 2 weeks. I like that. I like to know.
You don't like the surprises.
No.
Okay.
But it happened one time at a job, and it blew my mind sensory-wise. While I was at some kind of something or another, I came back to my work office, and they had painted it turquoise with bright red couches.
Lacey would be all over
And I
that.
walked in, and I was like,
turquoise.
literally, I could not even stand in there. It was so bright, alarming. Like, I'm sensitive to everything, just light, sounds, colors, whatever. And I just started crying because it shocked me. And I know a lot of people are going, what the fuck is she talking about? You're neurodivergent, you know, special people. Yeah. And they ended up painting it, you know, making it a nice taupe and then a lighter, more subtle color for me. Have you ever seen me in bright colors? Mm-mm. This is about the brightest as it gets, and this only is like a pajama.
My sensory thing is smells.
Right.
Bro, get me around some bad smells.
Yeah,
Can't deal with it.
It always messes me up every time Matt paints his toenails.
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
But I do
Especially
it
if
a
it's
nice
like a
taupe.
neon color.
I do taupe. That's what I do, whatever that is. So
Oh, I love taupe.
yeah.
Or like if
I
somebody
don't know what
farts
it
in the
is.
grocery store.
That was what I meant by smells.
I can't even imagine how much that's happened to you.
Man. And then you could taste it.
Oh, no.
walk around-
This is just taking a turn for the worse.
Well, you got, oh, man. Why did I open my mouth? I knew what I was. You know. No, but so Haden, you know, you're a new father, and this one's what, a little over 2,
Well, right at 2 years old.
right at
No.
2, and you got one coming. And man, the truth is, that's I think for me anyway, my biggest challenge was my expectation of my children.
Right.
And you know, my son was 13 years old when I got sober. And he was about, I think he's about to turn 14. He had 13 and a half whenever I got sober. And you think, man, he's seen all this. He's been through all this. There ain't no way he's ever going to go around drugs or alcohol. My expectation was to give him everything he wanted and put him in the best possible place in life, and he'll be exactly how I want him to be. And, the truth is that just didn't happen.
Right.
Yep.
And that was my expectation. I go to these meetings and I would hear all this talk about expectations, but, and I get it, I understand it, but not when it comes to my kids. Maybe that's a little bit different because I have control over that.
Right. Well, and it feels different just because we're responsible for them while we don't have complete control over
That's a tough area, man, especially as they get older, teenage years, and they start acting like aliens, and it's like...
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy right now just because, all you do is love on them and play and everything
as best
else.
you can, but as they get older, it's like, do I know this person? Like now they're a teenager. And
also, my story is like, it's the same thing that Mike's talking about, but it's with my mother and myself, So I went out and I did the things that, we imagined that our kids should learn from. It's like I did exactly the same thing she did, and I also believe that that's allowed me to have a certain level of forgiveness and all this other stuff whenever it came to our relationship, because growing up, I always thought about, like, why am I not good enough for her attention? Why am I not good enough for this? And anyways, now that I've all done it myself and turned my back on the family and done all these things, it's easier to understand what it is that was going on in the first place. But yeah, man, if we get to that point, I just want there to be a program for him to walk into and have the same opportunity that I did, because after a while, man, I felt like there was no point in ever trying to reestablish a normal life or anything like that, just because, man, I felt as if everything was screwed. And, I went through an existential crisis. I got out of prison, and man, it was I felt hopeless. I didn't even want to apply for jobs or anything. I just went out, started drinking, using, and all that stuff. And I really had my mind made up about that. I kind of locked in on the idea that this is just what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe that I could have done it any other way. I've tried many other ways, but the 12 steps is definitely where it's made the difference for me.
Yeah.
So,
it's definitely where it's at.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that last time. So anyone that wants to go back and look at one of those episodes where Haden was in, he actually almost said the exact same thing, and that's been a couple years ago. So obviously his program is still there. It's still strong. So that's man, I'm with you. I am with you. So we're this is a show about sobriety. It's a sobriety podcast, and but what does expectations have to do with drinking or not drinking?
Well, I think for me, like I said, I always put expectations on myself. And my counselor was real good about this at rehab. She said there's a difference between goals and expectations. She said you can live one day at a time and set goals. She said if you don't set a goal to pay your electric bill at the end of the month, they're going to cut it off. Right. You have to live in that world to an extent. But as far as your own growth and your own stuff, we're just gonna take this one day at a time. And that was the problem I had in my addiction. Was I was constantly going, oh man, I ought to be doing better financially, a better job, ought to have 2 trucks and a big house and all these things, and my family situation ought to be great, my marriage ought to be great, and all these things. Well, none of them were. It was a dumpster fire. So then I'm just down on myself constantly. Well, it's hard to get out of that.
Boy, is it ever
tote of junk,
self-loathing, and
that
just
validly I had made a mess of, but at the same time, that self-hatred of I'm going to keep this crap on me forever. And then I got into a treatment center and I went, man, I am lost. Like I had no idea what to do. And we started that process and they walked me through that stuff. And then I got out and I started doing steps and I went, oh, there's a way for me to deal with this and then move on from it and not have that weight. And man, when I got to that point, that's a whole other ball game right there, And I think that's what people say by stick around till the miracle happens, because I think we see a lot of new people come in. They hang out a couple of weeks. I share it in meetings every time we have somebody their first day. I'm like, I can't help it. I guess I sound like a lot of the guys I used to listen to that repeated themselves every time, but I can't help it because I sat there and I looked around on the walls and I saw all these things and like 2 pictures of old guys I didn't know it was Bill and Bob. I just thought it was like old club members.
I'm with you there, man.
I'm like, those guys are old.
Man.
Like, is that who? I didn't know. And
then when people start sharing about them, it gets even more confusing.
yeah, and I'm like, was Bill here earlier? Like, what happened? I don't know what we're doing. But the only thing I did correctly was I kept coming in there. For me, it was at 5:30 every day, and I did that constantly. And then I started trying to call my sponsor, and even that I thought, this is dumb. Like, I would text him in the morning, and I'm like, good morning. And then he would text back, good morning, and that was it. And I was like, so I'm supposed to stay sober because that's all he said was good morning? I'm waiting on my daily reflection from him every day or whatever. What's the magical thing? It wasn't a magical thing. It was, I'm beginning a relationship with someone that's going to help me. And we didn't have much to talk about early on. I'm just like, hey, I'm barely on this planet at this point.
So weird.
Yeah, but like new people come in and I think we start out, we just talked about this on the previous episode of getting out of treatment, and they want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I thought you were singing, Mike.
I pushed the wrong button. Go ahead.
But new people get out and they have these expectations of like, the world is my oyster and all my problems have been erased. Well, it haven't been, and it's gonna take some time and working through that and putting a little bit of trust into other folks and listening what they say. To get to that point to where, and it was a gradual thing. It was not quick.
And that's what I was, wanted to stress. This isn't something that happens overnight, especially when it comes to changing your thoughts and changing the behaviors that follow them. For some of us, it's been a really long time been doing these things, thinking these things, and it is our norm. And like I said, it took me many, many years of counseling, intensive counseling, because how am I not a loser? Can you give me one reason that I wasn't one?
Are you asking Matt or like?
No, it's rhetorical.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
She was staring me down.
Well, I mean, I had my hand raised over here.
Me, pick me.
Well, and
You in the back.
but seriously,
Right.
why should I have this great self-esteem? I've been tearing myself down for 20-something years, 5 years, whatever, how many years it is. And gosh, I mean, I'm sick spiritually, I'm sick physically, I'm sick mentally, I'm sick in every possible way. And that's to me, the hardest hole to dig out of or climb out of. Wait, what?
Climb, dig. Depends on what hole you're in.
Yeah, really depends on the angle of the hole.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of people are expecting these swift changes.
Yeah.
And there were swift changes. I mean, of course, the first thing it's going to be is your physical. That's going to, and your mental, hopefully. But like the cognitive thing,
I'm listening. Go ahead.
that took forever. And guess what? There are still things I have to practice, because don't think for a second I can't get back into that kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But if I return back to, expectations and whatever, start becoming like ego-based and selfish, self-centered, dishonest, and all this every other, cognitive distortion or character defect you can think of, my life's probably going to go downhill. And that's why we focus on gratitude. That's why we focus on all these good things, because like it's slick, man. It's cunning, baffling, powerful.
Lacey, I hope she doesn't get mad that I share this, but we were laying in the bed just talking about this last night, and she's upset with herself and all these things, and I'm just listening to myself. That's how I would do too. Mm-hmm. And I finally looked at her and I said, by the way, before we fell asleep, and I said, I just want to remind you, like, the things that you do that help people. Like, you do a lot of things for a lot of people. Like, let's don't leave this as, you don't need to think about that. Let's think about, we all have things that we work on. But I don't know that I know anyone in Alcoholics Anonymous, and some of them I wouldn't even call them a friend. It's just somebody I know. There's not one of them that I probably couldn't say something bad in quotation marks, a character defect, but also a great character trait. You know, we all have stuff, and I think we dwell on that crap too much, and it's like it wants to keep us there, you know, and you gotta keep trucking.
Well,
you know?
yeah, and it will if we let it, you know. And for all of us, that's a very fine line, because that's a downhill slope that I don't feel that I have control over, because I know for a fact when I was able to really analyze myself, you know, it was self-pity that almost killed me, and I still can get into self-pity. And that's when I know, okay, what do you do when that happens? Well, let me help someone. Let me get out of my mind. Let me, be distracted. Let me say some prayers. And every morning I ask God to remove my defective characters. And I name them. Yeah. I go through a long list of them. And just, I feel like if that's in the forefront of my prefrontal cortex.
Where's that at?
That's near the abdomen.
Oh.
No. But anyway, and that's your executive functioning. That's your decision-making skills. And that just has to be right there. Because if not, I am going to get in the way of myself and set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
It's hard. Because there are some things I don't like about myself. But if I focus on them and not the gratitude and all the other wonderful things, it's just about, what do I want to focus on, the positive or the negative? Because, it's kind of like whatever you focus on, it becomes your reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I find myself a lot of the time. Like, the obsession to drink and use ruled over my thoughts and just the way that my life was for such a long time that I have this hyper focused I over fixate on certain things, and it's like whenever I think about all of the things that are wrong with my life, that's all that I can think about. Sometimes I'll even think about how well my life's going, and it just doesn't feel as if it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like this is really my life. I feel like the imposter, and I'm waiting for doomsday. Something bad's coming, all this other stuff. And a lot of the time, almost all of the time, nothing ever happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's also self-fulfilling prophecies where if you're expecting the bad thing to come and you're expecting it, whenever something happens, at least for me, I blow it way out of proportion.
Oh, for sure.
It's
there
like,
I go again.
Here it was.
Knew it all along.
Yep.
I'm a clairvoyant.
Been waiting on this for years.
Yeah.
And and then you take a look back at things, and that's how I look at life a lot of the time. Unfortunately, is I look back at something and realize, obviously hindsight's 20/20. But whenever I have those seasons that I have these expectations of either good things that don't happen or bad things that don't happen, either way it goes, I've wasted some amount of time thinking about things that actually don't exist. So
this is
a lot of time
weird too, but like I've gotten those like the affirmation moments where things have been on the right track, and in sobriety it's always been little stuff, and it was normally like me being by myself and just noticing something had changed. It's never like this big celebration or hey, you're the greatest guy in the world. You don't get those, but like I remember a year into sobriety, I was driving my little car. And I looked down, and my paycheck had been on my console, and it was from the day before. And I was like 11 months sober, and I remember going, holy crap. I didn't run straight to friggin' Thrifty and cash this.
You get a lot of those little things happen in the first
But it was a big
right?
deal to me, and there was nobody around,
And you're right. I think what a lot of us, when we get into the years and stuff like that, it's the miracles and the big things that happened in early recovery. They tend to get smaller, and I think that they're not as big as they used to be, and they it's almost like if we're not looking, we don't see them, because it is gradual. Like
But
these things.
I think that's for me. I was a couple years and I was driving around and on my key ring, I had a bunch of key fobs to like people I knew and like their businesses, their houses. And I was like, I have all these keys to businesses and houses all over the city. Like they know I went
robbed one yet.
Yeah, I hadn't robbed one. You know?
Where's the pat on the back?
And I was like, that's kind of weird. And it was just me by myself, but I was like, that's all right. You know, I can, that's
You're like,
pretty cool.
Just look at me.
Yeah, you know, and then I remember when I got the door club key to the koala club, that was, hey, I didn't even know what to do with my hands, you know. So then I found out there was nothing to do in there once I got in.
Make some coffee, clean up.
That's it. That's it. Take the trash out. But I don't know if y'all had those moments like that where it was kind of an affirmation of, hey, I'm moving in the right direction here, like something different is happening.
Especially in that first year.
Yeah.
You know, which makes your expectations of year 2 even more than, you know, like, wow, I've seen all this happen in the first year. I can only imagine what's going to happen in the second. And it's kind of like a reverse triangle in that situation, because the higher, the longer you stay, the less you see. You know, for me, it was a lot. You know, the second year I didn't see nearly as much as the first and the third year and fourth. But
I think it's because you've righted that ship, so it's, you know, things are
ship. I like
for
that.
the most part going in the right direction anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
So
what I do know is that I can look back ever since, well, and beyond, you know, before my recovery, and really seeing how since I've been sober, that puzzle starting to all come together.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that has happened in my life, bad, horrific, traumatic, you know, everything that I've learned along my, my clinical, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience in the past 15 years that has all come together. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool sitting back and letting that happen without that frustration I used to have at the beginning, because this isn't the way it's supposed to be. You know, the skills that I picked up when I was making $8 an hour working at a treatment center, still using them.
Yeah.
And I just, it's beautiful to watch and to know now the evolution and how it's all working out, and how I have trust and faith now, where before I was scared to death and I had so much fear I didn't trust anything. And it just is humbling to look back and to think back between the two mindsets, because of where I was and where I am now. It is almost like makes me want to cry, because I'm so grateful for all the lessons that I've learned. Because if not, I just don't think I'd be here.
My attitude now on future stuff is we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows what, you know, I don't know. It might
I
happen,
don't
it
even
might
think
not.
about it.
I don't care either way. You know, like it does not define anything, and we'll just deal with whatever happens when it happens, you know, and I've also learned to stay out of crap conflicts with people that's unnecessary, just petty. I just stay out of that crap.
No time.
Like, yeah,
See ya.
no time. Bobby and I just went fishing a couple days ago, and we were talking driving up there, and I was like, you know what's so nice is like, I just don't have shit going on, for lack of a better word. I'm not worried about what this person said or that person did or this. I don't worry about all that stuff, man. I don't have any of that. It's pretty nice for the most part, everything's pretty calm, you know? So,
and that's wonderful, because there's just not, we're not okay with that drama, you know, that was going on before, and it was ridiculous.
And the old timers would say you ain't got to show up to every fight you're invited to or something like that. And that was kind of, you know, we thinking.
Heard that a lot in early sobriety too.
Yeah, you know, and
absolutely.
it's like Lacey and I were talking, and she said something about something a while back, and I was like, I don't care. And she goes, you always say that. And I'm like, it's because it's true. I don't care.
Well, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, like, someone's opinion of me, I don't control that. I can't go over there and change their mind and show. That's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
And so, you know, I just
takes time.
That's another thing that's been really good for me in recovery, just mind my own freaking business.
It is even the older you get, it's just like, don't care.
Yeah.
It's really don't care.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm very grateful for that, though, just to have that piece of not worrying about what other people think or do, or, any of that, you know. But Jill, don't you have a story to tell us as well? Doesn't Jill? This is her episode.
I may have a little announcement.
Not to
make.
put you on the spot or anything.
I think you just put me on the spot.
It's our announcement music, Jill. Come on. We can do Coleman's announcement music. Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, I do have an announcement to make. You know, I've been here at studio. Wait, what's it called?
Rule 62 Studio.
Been here 2 years. I don't know what this place is.
And I've loved every minute of it. And I love you guys. You guys are you're my boys. And, you know, life happens, things happen. And, well, this is my last show, guys.
Last episode for Jill, guys. So
I wouldn't say that. I'm stepping down.
You're not going to regularly do the show.
Yes, absolutely. I will, you know, come on as a guest every now and then. But, you know, there's some other things going on in my life that I need to focus on. And no, I'm not dying.
No, she's not dying or disappearing or anything like that. There's none of that brain work.
Actually, everything is going really well in my life, and I'm really, really happy. And, you know, I have some big things that may be happening at work, and I just have to focus on those things.
Sure.
You know, I never thought in a million years we'd be still sitting here 2 years later.
Yeah.
And everything happened so quickly when I met you guys. And we started this, you know, my hope is that there are, you know, that this continues to go on, and there are people that hear this and they are like, damn, if they can do it, we can do it. I like what they have to say. You know, maybe I'm going to try a meeting. Maybe I'm going to try the steps. Maybe I'm going to try a halfway house. Maybe I'm going to try treatment, and they get to change their life and get to live a life that we get to live.
Yep.
Free of alcohol and drugs. And it's just, I can't, you know, we do this for others. We do this to help other people in sobriety, because we all know this has been the most difficult journey of our life, and it's been a wonderful journey. I can say that now because I've been through the shit, right? the major, and not to say that I won't, because that's going to change. Everything in life changes, but you know, I just, you know, hope that we reach more and more and more people to share our stories, so that someone out there doesn't have to die of this.
Sure.
You know, and it's heartbreaking. I lost a friend this week.
Yeah.
And, you know, may you rest in peace, Mark. And it's devastating. It's devastating to the community and, you know, family and everybody that knew him. And so this disease, this is what it does. You know, just like everybody says, you know, you'll hear at meetings, it's in the parking lot doing push-ups. It's so cheesy. And it is. Cheesy. It's so cheesy. But it really is. And we have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean,
resilient.
Well, resilient. We have to be, it's like we have to be on call all the time.
Sure.
Because all of us is just one drink away from like anybody else in this world. And I can't stress that enough. I don't want to lose any more friends to alcohol or drug addiction, but I know he won't be the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you know someone that's struggling, if you are struggling, share this podcast, man. You know, have them call us. We have emails. We have phone numbers. This is what our job here is to do, is to help someone. And hopefully this message spreads throughout the world, you know, as it is. And more people can hear what sobriety sounds like. You know, we're not a glum lot. We are having fun. Our lives are full.
Boy, are they.
They really are. I mean, we've been talking about kids and jobs and all kinds of stuff. But that's a cool thing. Like, life gets to happen to us now, you know, and we don't, it's like, I remember sitting back, you know, just so high and just watching life go by and thinking, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. I'd like that. That'd be nice.
You ever heard the song Drugs or Jesus by Tim McGraw?
No.
That's a good song.
But you see what I'm saying? And you're like, why
Seriously?
can't I have that?
Yeah.
And that those kind of thoughts paralyzed me and kept me from doing anything. And so, you know, like everybody here, I had a really rude awakening in 2010 that changed my life. And I did something I've never done before. I said something to someone. I literally looked at my mom and said, I can't do this anymore. She was like, what? And so I'm blessed I'm sober. I'm blessed you guys are sober. I'm so blessed that you guys have let me stick around for a while and let me be a part of this. And I fucking love you guys.
We love you, and you know it's what's been awesome with this whole thing has been, and Haden's been here pretty much from day one. He was one of the first people to come on when we asked. We were trying to find people to do it. Haden you did several episodes, but everybody that's come on here that you've seen or that has called in or done anything is the same spirit of this thing that was started was for somebody new that's struggling to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And I could sit at home struggling with drugs and alcohol and hear Haden and go, I can't really identify with nothing he says. But then Chris C comes on and I go, oh, that's my guy right there. I'm just like that guy. That's why we bring on people and we ask people and we try to get different folks on here, because we are different out there, but we all have the same problem. And it always comes to the same, we go back to the center, you know, and, but that's been the cool thing about this. And you folks out there that have never been on here or seen it, it does take a lot of time, and we do it because we want to help someone else. And you know, and that's all it boils down to. And Jill and Mike and me and everybody that comes on here, we take away time from other things to make sure that this happens, and because it's important. And it has nothing to do with anything but those new people hearing that, or somebody a little bit alone needing some encouragement. And you know, Jill's always been the crowd favorite. You know, my mom loved Jill when she kept telling me and Mike to stop talking so much so Jill could talk during the early episodes. I'm like, thanks,
sorry,
Mama.
A lot of fan mail comes in.
That's right. But you know, it is very cool, and we have them very sporadically, but that doesn't matter. To get a message or to get a email or a phone call, and somebody goes, man, I was in a bad shape and I heard Haden's story, and that just, man, he's like me, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. And that's worth all the time. That's worth all the stuff, you know. And so yeah, we're blessed, man.
You know, we've had such a cross section of guests on here as well.
Yeah.
You know, from just about everybody. You know, if you think about it, over the past couple of years, how many people we've just had in this room.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, just come in and sit over there and just. I remember back when we were doing only audio, I had 5 mics set up, and then it was a lot.
Yeah, we've had this whole table full of people.
The Randy T table. The Randy T donated the table.
After this episode here, we recording one more or no?
I can.
Sure.
Well,
What time is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have one more, and then probably won't come back out with another episode till October. I'm going to go probably 4 weeks with only speakers.
Okay.
And then I'll have a new format set up, and I'll be living in my new home, and we'll be able to figure out how to do this. It's going to take me a day or so to figure out how to do it. So
And we got some guests coming, like call in from other parts of the country. Hit us up if you want to tell your story. We love to hear stories, and the more diverse and different, the better, because we just want this to be a resource, And so, yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up too. But
well, Jill, we're gonna miss you. She's moving on to bigger and better things. She'll be doing the
I think
Cold Air
she's
show
going
at 10
free
o'clock.
range pig farming is what she's up to. She's going into that business. So,
Well, and like when we discussed this, whenever you brought it up, it kind of goes back to our topic of expectations, right? Like nothing lasts forever, right?
Yeah.
This is going, you don't. That's just something that's gonna happen. People are gonna, they're all four or all three of our main cast might change out before, the name or the actual podcast does, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just part of it. That's
Yeah. I know, and I'm over here like I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to let them down, but like
Well,
sometimes.
Jill, that's been every one of our lives. So
What?
You're not special. It's like, from birth till now, you trust me, you're not. My 5th grade teacher, just takes.
Yeah.
No, actually, she was a good lady.
My 3rd grade teacher, she whooped me.
My 3rd grade teacher was a good teacher.
Mine wasn't. She whooped my knuckles with a yardstick.
Well,
Anyway,
back then
expectations.
Now they do it with a meter stick.
What the hell is a meter stick?
It's kind of like a yardstick,
Oh.
but it's in
Metric.
it's in millimeters.
For real?
No, I
Oh.
mean they make them. Yeah. No, we don't use them much here in the U.S.
Oh,
because
okay.
No,
I thought we were beyond that now. No,
No,
there's no longer
no.
like home rooms with like paddles hanging all
I
over
know
the
we're
wall
beyond
and
cursive writing anymore. I know that.
That's weird.
When I was growing up, the teachers would spank the students, and now it's just opposite.
The students
Right.
spank the teacher.
At some point after I graduated, they came out with some rules, and now it's just the other way around.
Yeah, yeah.
More and more kids are homeschooled. My grandson is going to be homeschooled this year. His first
Okay,
year.
really?
Yeah.
How's
Absolutely.
Everest?
That's my other grandson.
Right.
He's not ready to do anything yet. He will. So this episode is being recorded on Saturday, the 7th, 8th. Saturday, August the 8th. And as of right now, as we record, he is not out of the hospital. He is supposed to come home on the Thursday, which would be like the 12th or something like that. So right now it's dead set. Never left the hospital since Dave was born. And
It's
we're
gonna
going
be
to
a
see.
whole new world for him.
We're going to see. So, he was supposed to get out about a month ago. And, yeah, it's going to be a whole new world for him. They're already planning on what they're going to do for trick-or-treat. Now, I don't know how you pull that off, but, hey.
Go to him.
What was his birthday?
He was born July the 8th or 9th of 2024.
Oh, wow.
And he spent 3 months in the hospital here, and then they flew him to Dallas, and he has been in Dallas Children's Hospital since then.
Since then, yeah.
He's a trach baby. He has underdeveloped, his ribs did not develop right, and that prevents his lungs from going in and out. And he has to use the bathroom out of a bag on his stomach, and he eats out of a tube in his stomach, and he has some conditions with his spine, and so all of that combined is just a lot. So they're going to bring him back here, and then he's supposed to go start doing surgery sometime later in the year in Philadelphia. It's called CHOP, so Philadelphia's Hospital Children or something. So he'll be there whenever, or Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, CHOP. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he'll end up there for, oh man, and making routine visits up until he's a young man to get his stuff. So been through a lot with that one, and that goes back to expectations as well too.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if we drank every time our expectations wasn't met? Because every 2 weeks we think he's getting out, right? And every 2 weeks, I've just, matter of fact, when he was born, I just made the decision then, I'm going to pray for him every day, and I'm just going to ask for God's will to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what I want, but is that very realistic,
Right.
There's nothing you can do when you get in that situation,
Absolutely.
And he's got a little sister, and she stays over there with her mom in the Ronald McDonald House, and And my daughter's done a lot for the show over the past few years.
Yes,
too.
she has, and thank you.
And I think a little bit of that helped her occupy some of her time when she's over there and you can't go in the room with them and stuff like that. So, but man, we hope he comes home. He's doing good right now.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
I wish I had a picture I could pull up on the screen because the kid is literally, I mean, you can't tell by looking at him. He wears a helmet, a little blue
Big
helmet.
Bro,
smile.
every picture of that kid, he's smiling.
I mean,
Like,
big cheese.
You can look it up on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Mike Walston Jr. But he wears a 3D printed helmet, and it's supposed to expand. But the reason for it is he spent so much time on his back that one side of his head started to go flat. So they put this helmet on him to keep that side, to get rounded. But they pulled that helmet off the other day, and he's like got a head full of red hair.
Oh,
So red hair and blue eyes, man. This kid is like, I mean, he's amazing. And I say this, this is probably the third or fourth episode I've said this, but he has no idea. No one's been there to tell him he can't.
Yep.
So he can. And, and you hear a lot of it early in their life, is he going to make it? And that's what you want to know. And the doctors always say, well, it's up to him, and you kind of go, well, what are you talking about? But come to find out, it really is, and ain't nobody told him he couldn't. And to him, that's the only norm, so, there's no telling what's going to happen. I don't have expectations. I would love to see him rocking and rolling up there, but hey, it's whatever, whatever's supposed to happen. How about that? So,
sure.
But I tell you what, learned a lot from him. He has made a difference in all of our lives. He completely changed all our lives. And me and him both leaving Dallas within the same little time period, too, was just kind of weird. And, here's the deal. This is God's will, and how you explain that to yourself or whatever, that's a personal thing. But, I left New Orleans and I moved back to North Louisiana, and I wasn't back in North Louisiana very long. And I met a guy who was struggling to get sober. And we worked together for probably 6 months before he actually took to the program and got sober. And I mean, and then by the time I got ready to leave, he had a year sober, right? And so it's time for me to go. And then I go to Dallas, and I ain't been in Dallas 3 months. And boom, Everest is born, and it's not good, and he ends up staying over there in Dallas by me at the hospital somehow by chance.
Blessing.
And at the same time, I'm getting ready to leave Dallas. He's getting ready to leave Dallas. So I only wonder what waits for me here in Reno, Nevada, or there in Reno, Nevada when I get there. Is there something there God wants me to go do? And you can't help but ask yourself.
Clearly.
I just don't believe in coincidences.
Nope.
Yeah.
I do believe we can write stuff off as a coincidence and ignore the responsibility we've been given. But pretty phenomenal stuff.
Something will be revealed.
Yeah, let's hope. Well, yeah, I'm done. Here we go. When I went riding around up there last weekend, man, there's mountains and streams and
Can't believe you're going. Well, be expecting a visit. Just saying that.
A very nice place, man. I mean, I wish I could. I wish it was here because I don't know anybody there.
Did they still have that Hard Rock Cafe, or didn't something happen there in Reno?
In Reno 911.
That's American classic.
Boot goofing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a shooting a couple weeks ago. Mass shooting at a casino.
In Reno?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Same day there was something else went down.
Stop the
somewhere
madness,
else.
guys.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot that goes on there that we don't.
There's so many dead bodies. Oh, sorry.
Right. She says that as she glances out in the yard.
My backhoe's parked right out there,
Yeah, the bulldozer.
Yeah, saw her dad driving a bulldozer when I pulled in.
He's like, don't pay any attention to me.
Yeah, that's how those pigs got so big so
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
That's one you got to think about, man. What's going on? You could write a book about that. Called it Podcast. Come to find out she's been killing people and burying them.
Oh, wait, hold up.
Her dad helps her cover it up. Pigs eat most of it.
Yeah.
It could work.
Yeah.
It's a process.
But keep those expectations low, huh, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, and roll with the changes, man.
Roll with the changes. That's
I like what you said, Mike, about you kind of waiting to see what happens there. Like, God didn't, and this is my opinion, but God didn't get us sober and get us through all this stuff without putting us in positions where we talk about God using us, but you get put in positions where he does. And I know Haden, with his job now, he helps a lot of guys that are, we're all in positions, Jill, we all are in positions to, God uses us if we're paying attention. And we go, oh, okay, I see what I'm supposed to be doing. And right. I like that, Mike, that your more will be revealed, We'll
it's
see
just
what happens.
strange the way it works.
And
man.
it is for all of us. I think a lot of us have a bunch of new journeys that are about to happen, and that's exciting and scary and all at the same time. And I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
And
when I got to New Orleans, even from here, I joined an AA group and got to be, I got to watch a lot of people come in and get sober. And I had, 3 sponsees down there, 2 that were already sober when I got there, and then 1 that's just straight off the. I remember his name is Adam, and he's tried to call me twice in the past few weeks, and he calls me before I wake up, and I know he's at work by the time I wake up. But anyway. I remember him sitting next to me in an AA meeting and just going, man, what's this sponsor stuff all about? And instead of me giving him some kind of weird legal spiel, I just told him the truth. I mean, it's just somebody that you kind of touch base with a lot, and they could walk you through the steps and, and help you stay sober one day at a time. That's all. Somebody that you can go to when you need them and not have to worry about any kind of judgment or any of that crap.
Yeah.
And he's still sober to this day, from what I understand. So, pretty good deal right there. So, Matt, what else is going on, bud?
Man, that's it.
We're gonna miss Jill.
Yeah, life is life. So we all roll with it. Hayden, big time restaurateur now.
The restaurateur is that?
I think that's a word. Yeah.
Is it restaurateur?
No.
That's a musketeer.
Restaurateur.
Or a musketeer.
Well, it's like people that say finance and people that say finance.
No one says that.
Finance.
There's a commercial right now on the radio. Some lady keeps saying finance, and the other lady's going, finance? She said, finance.
No.
That's they do that over in France or something, I think. I don't know. But
like behavior when they spell it like IOUR. And I'm like, wait, what?
Flavor.
Color.
Flavor.
Color is COLOUR.
Yeah, they're trying to get fancy.
Yeah. Well, they got I don't know. They call in England. They call a cookie a biscuit, or is it a biscuit a cookie? One of the two.
I think it's both. They're backward. Or no, I don't think they have biscuits. I think that
what
they call biscuits is their cookies.
Yeah, but they're not really like our cookies.
Right.
And flashlights
They're
called
like
a
tea
torch, and a parking lot's called a car park, and the hood on a car is called a boot.
Yeah.
And in Canada, when they say a boot, they mean about. Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like in New Orleans. They sometimes they have that.
They got their own language down
in
there.
New Orleans, they call it yak.
Yeah, a boat.
It's called yak, and when they say cooler, they say cooler. Go get
It's
the
almost
cooler.
a Brooklyn accent.
Well, I think it's some kind of mixture between French and
Creole and
it's just
Cajun.
like
Irish.
Yeah, but they really some of them are
Irish.
thick, man. I had a lady that worked for me, and she, great lady. Her name was Dana, but boy, when she started talking, you could tell that she was from New Orleans. Boy.
Oh yeah. My uncle lived down in Plaquemines. I can never understand what he was saying. His was thick. Like, huh?
Yeah, that's the one thing, though. Our friends that listen, loyal listeners, Mr. Bo and Miss Melissa, they live in Livonia, so it's down there at Baton
I know where
Rouge
Livonia.
area.
That's on the I-90 cutoff.
Yeah. And they come up and hang out, and I can understand everything they say, even though they do talk Cajun, Cajun accent. But the thing about it is, when you hear that accent, know that they can cook. Right. That's what you need to understand. Is if you can't understand what they're saying, they can at least cook.
Don't ask what it is, just eat it.
Just eat it.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
I can tell you now from
You don't wanna
Louisiana.
know.
Yeah. Don't ask what it is.
None of this animal goes away.
got-
Nutri-Rat, no thanks.
They got that roadkill recipe, man.
Armadillo on a half shell.
And they say
you know what I'm saying?
Nutri-Rat is very good.
I don't know. I've probably eaten it and just didn't know it.
No,
you know?
I've heard Nutri-Rat is very good.
I mean, all they eat's plants, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. They just eat grass and stuff.
My only experience with Nutri-Rat is I was on a single person kayak floating down a river one time, somewhere South Louisiana. And like I was going slow, and I come around the corner, and there was a Nutri-Rat the size of a bear sitting on a
Yeah, they look like bears.
sitting on a stump in the middle of. They scared the crap out of me, dude.
They're wild looking.
And I was like, man, is this thing? It looked like a beaver that had
With
been
no tail.
shot up with steroids.
Yeah, they look angry.
My experience with Nutri-Rat was me and my girlfriend were arguing, and I had to leave the house, and I was too messed up to drive, so I just drove like a quarter mile down the street, and I parked at the duck pond in Shreveport.
Oh, God
And
bless.
I passed out on this little elephant, like it's a I don't know,
I know
it's a kid's
I
toy.
unfortunately
Yeah.
know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so I fell asleep on that elephant right there, and I woke up, and they were just like all sitting right. I mean, not too close to me, but close enough to freak me out. And anyways, yeah, I had to get the hell out of there.
They were observing you.
My brother,
Dude.
right over here, a few miles away, bought a house when he got divorced way back in the day, and it was a 2-bedroom house. He turned one of them into an office, and he had a Nutri-Rat get in his house, and it was up in the attic. This was 20-something years ago, and we used to text him when he wasn't home and be like, "Hey, man, bring beer home. You're out of beer. Thanks, the rat," and we would sign it like that. And so it went on for a while, and he couldn't get rid of it. One morning, he said he walked by that second door, and the thing was sitting on his chair in front of his computer. The Nutri-Rat was just... And he said he walked in, he shut the door real quiet, and he looked over, and his golf clubs were leaned up on the thing. Whoops out probably a 4-iron is what I would go with.
no.
And no more rat, but he had to repaint the office.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that.
Ew.
Yeah, he got him. So
Dang.
it was one of the two was walking out of that room.
He could have
So-
called Billy.
Yeah, Billy didn't even exist back then, I don't think. But,
I mean, he did somewhere.
he maybe. But Adam Billied him himself. So
Ah.
yeah, he took care of it with the 4-iron.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. I've never heard of anybody getting bitten by one.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
me neither.
someone has.
Well, I'm sure somebody's been eaten by one. You know, I mean, like you're the only guy.
They
Like,
look angry.
I
bro.
had a friend in middle school. His uncle got mauled by, no.
I bet a lot of dead bodies that have been tossed in lakes have been eaten by Nutri-Rats.
Or gators.
Gators?
Gators.
Just pigs.
Pigs, yeah.
Pigs
yeah.
and chickens is what I heard.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, down there, man, especially with the humidity, something's going to get that body quick.
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
right. So anyway,
Yep.
guys, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jill. Appreciate you being here, and we appreciate time served. We'll let you off with time served. So, Haden, as always,
Thank you,
love
Your
to have
Honor.
you here. And Matt, you're just here. We've been at Rule 62 Studios right here in Bossier City, Louisiana, and we have been the Grouch and the Brainstorm.